I'd like to call this meeting of the Transportation Committee to order. Order, please. Okay, can we have a roll call, please?
Covert.
Here.
Evans.
Here.
Garcia.
Here.
Ozog.
Here.
Tornatori.
Here.
Zay.
Here.
Okay, by chair remarks, I really don't have anything to, we had our Metro meeting, which was great, and I thank the staff at our board meeting. The Metro board meeting was here a week ago Wednesday. Otherwise, we have a staff recognition today for Marianne Seosin. Just, okay, say what you see. Well, Marianne has been with us for 10 years, so.
Oh, yeah, so Bill and I are gonna tag team this one, so
Okay.
I'm gonna let Bill start. Marianne, you gotta come up. We know she loves being center of attention. No, you start.
Okay, so first, it's never good to be recognized on April Fool's Day. But Mary Ann is a key part of our traffic department, both as a supervisor and as a technical expert, ensuring that our traffic signals and our streetlights are working properly. She oversees our $3 million plus electrical maintenance contract and coordinates all the work on emergencies and special situations that come up. She also works very closely with our partners to make sure that our traffic signals are working seamlessly, especially Naperville, Aurora, Lombard, Itasca, and IDOT. She was instrumental in building our central signal system that many of you have heard about, beginning with her first days here in 2015, and now it's almost fully built out to nearly 300 traffic signals over that time, over 5 different projects. She's an excellent resource for traffic issues that come up, and she's always willing to help around the department, including as one of our drone pilots.
Yeah, so I'm gonna add to that. So, I want to take a minute to congratulate you, Marianne. It's a great achievement, and it's always special for us to acknowledge our staff. And Marianne and I go a little ways back. So if you didn't know, Marianne worked with me when I was at IDOT District 1, right after she had come to us from CATS. So CATS is the Chicago Area Transportation Study. For those that don't recall or know the acronym, it was merged with Northeastern Illinois Planning Commission to become CMAP. So early in her career, coming from CATS, she has this unique background, having worked for basically a planning organization that she brings to traffic engineering. And I do remember this. So, this enhances the skills that she's used to do all the things that Bill just talked about. But second, a thing that I thought was worth mentioning is that IDOT District 1 brought Marianne on board back in the aftermath of the 1995 Fox River Grove school bus crash. So back then, in simple terms, traffic signals were not all universally connected to railroads in the same way, and they handle different situations differently. Marianne was instrumental in the next several years of putting those systems together and standardizing the way things are done. So in that post Fox River Grove era is when she learned her craft. And so there are a few people in our industry that are still actively involved in what she does that were there then. And doing that type of work, I think it bears mentioning. And I want to thank her and how lucky we are to have her and to share all of that knowledge with the rest of us. Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations. We get to see that your hard work. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yay. Okay. Next, we have public comment. On the matter of public comment, according to our county board rules, members of the public shall be afforded time to address the board. Individual remarks shall not exceed 3 minutes in length. The total time for all public comments shall not exceed 30 minutes. And our first speaker today is Terry Witt. Hi, Terry.
Morning, yeah. Terry Witt. I'm a bicycle rider up in Bartlett, District 6. And we have waited for years for a trail along Stearns Road that connects both halves of our community, the state park and the community center. So, but I want to thank Transportation Committee, the county, Melissa, John, because you've applied for a grant, which we're, I think, still waiting to hear from, to build that trail. And it does more than connect the village of Bartlett people. It extends a trail network that goes all the way from the Fox River to O'Hare Airport. And that's the second part of my comments. I believe we're missing a real chance by not including a bicycle trail into what's being called Western Access. The Elgin O'Hare Bikeway rides all the way up to the fence line at York Road. The tollway is putting in big bridges and everything out there with all kinds of construction equipment. And with 15,000 people working in the airport, a lot coming probably from DuPage County, who will use that Western Access and pay, I don't know how many tolls every day and how much money to park a car in a garage, when if we had a bike trail that goes right into Western Access, a lot of people are gonna choose to ride their bikes to work when they go to work in the airport. So I would really like the county to support a bike trail right into the airport. I mean, in Chicago, there's thousands of people who bike to work every day, thousands. And I hope some of you enjoy riding bikes. The other thing, because you mentioned traffic signals, as a bicycle rider, I'm constantly looking out for kids. The best thing we could do for kids at every intersection that has a traffic signal are have right and left turn arrows that are synchronized with walk lights. And the most dangerous thing is for a right turner running over a kid because they don't see him coming. And if we had arrows, because people don't pay attention to signs, but they do pay a little bit more attention to arrows when they're on traffic signals. So if it turns red, or if a walk light is on and the signal turns red, maybe they'll get across the street. So anyway, that's a real big safety thing that could happen. Thank you for your 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. And that was our only discussion. Okay. The board has received public comment via our online portal per board policy. These comments were provided to members yesterday so they can be reviewed. Comments submitted electronically will be included in the minutes of this meeting. Okay, now we will move on to approval of the minutes. I move for approval of the minutes of our March 18th, 2025 meeting. I have a second. Any comments or changes? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, next, I'd like to move to combine items 7A through D. Do I have a second? Okay. Item 250768, I move for approval of, recommendation for the approval of the contract to Sunrise Chevy to furnish and deliver Chevy and General Motors OEM repairs and replacement parts as needed for the Division of Transportation for the period May 1st, 2025 through April 30th, 2026, for a contract total not to exceed $15,000 per renewal option, first of 3 options to renew. I move for approval of 250760, recommendation for the approval of a contract at Peterbilt, Illinois, doing business as JX Truck Center Elmhurst to furnish and deliver Peterbilt OEM replacement parts as needed for the Division of Transportation for the period May 1st, 2025 through April 30th, 2026, for a contract total not to exceed $20,000 per renewal option under bid award 2440 DOT, first of 3 options to renew. I move for approval of 250762. Recommendation for the approval of a contract to Wholesale Direct to furnish and deliver automotive and emergency lighting as needed for the Division of Transportation for the period May 1st, 2025 through April 30th, 2026, for a contract total not to exceed $25,000, second of 3 options to renew. I move for approval of 250863, recommendation for the approval of a contract to First Aid Corporation doing business as First AYD Corporation to furnish and deliver automotive aerosols and cleaners as needed for the Division of Transportation for the period April 24th, 2025 through April 23rd, 2026, for a contract total not to exceed $30,000, first of 3 renewals.
Second.
Any comments or changes? All in favor?
Aye.
Now I'd like to move to combine items 8A through 8E, change orders.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I move for approval of 250811, recommendation for to resolution DTP 6423 issued to Monroe Truck Equipment to furnish and deliver Monroe spreader and plow repair and replacement parts for the Division of Transportation to increase the funding in the amount of $50,000, resulting in a final county cost of $140,000, an increase of 55.56%. I move for approval of item 250829, 72-hour LLC doing business as Chevy of Watsonville National Auto Fleet Group. Decrease remaining encumbrance and close contract that was initially for 16 Ford Broncos and various DuPage County departments. Probation, $202,925.28. Children's Center, $135,283.52, and DOT, $33,820.88. Contract entered October 18th, 2022, and canceled by vendors shortly thereafter due to supply chain interruptions and reduced inventory. Fire vehicles were purchased under this PO, and the remaining vehicles have been purchased and approved by the county board. I move. I'm sorry, 5. You said fire vehicles, 5. 5, excuse me. 5 vehicles have been purchased under this PO. I move for approval of 250830. Al Warren Oil Company, decrease remaining encumbrance and close contract to furnish and deliver automotive lubricants for the Division of Transportation. Contract expired November 9th, 2024. I move for approval 250831, Standard Industrial PO 6334. One serve, decrease remaining encumbrance and close contract to provide rotary automotive and heavy lift equipment parts and repair services for the Division of Transportation. Contract expired on March 31st, 2024. Item 250832, I move for approval Fence Incorporated, decrease remaining encumbrance and close contract purchase order to repair, supply, and install fencing as needed for the Division of Transportation. Contract expired August 31st, 2020. Second. Any comments or changes? All in favor?
Aye.
Next, I move for approval of DTR 000425, awarding resolution to Precise Pavement Markings Incorporated for the 2025 Pavement Marking Maintenance Program for an estimated county cost of $496,037.30 per lowest responsible bid. Second. Any comments or discussion about this item? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next, we have 2 items to receive and place on file. Okay, I have to tell everybody, not being able to say the long name of the company Chevy has really thrown me. So I couldn't say magazine until I was 7. You know, people just have some words. Chevy is one of them. Anyway, I move for approval of FIR 005825, authorization to transfer and appropriate up to but not exceed $6,492,902 in additional funds from the Impact Fees Fund, Company 1500, accounting units 3640, 3649, to the Impact Fee Funds, Company 1500, accounting units 3560, 3569 for fiscal year 2025.
Second.
And I also move to place on file FIR 005925, additional appropriation for the Impact Fee Funds, Company 1500, accounting units 3560, 3569 in the amount of $4,458,927. I have a second.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Do we have any old business? Any, oh, I'm sorry, old business, forgive me.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, we'll start with members A.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You know, we got an update. We've been getting some emails about, what came up a year or so ago. Up in Wayne, off of Army Trail Road, there's a little parking spot there, a little piece of property we own. And there was some no parking put up, and it's kind of riled up the residents up there in Wayne. you tell us what's going on with that? Because I know we had some issues with maintenance there. There was some rebar sticking out and some other stuff that we were gonna take a look at.
Yeah, absolutely. I can give you a status on that. So there's a number of those trailheads that have kind of open space that has been used as kind of ad hoc parking over the years. So there is one at Army Trail and the Prairie Path there. And we had taken a number of complaints about the conditions. It was hard to get in and out. There was some rebar issues and some debris and other things like we've had at other trailheads. And in addition, we took complaints about people being there after hours and things like that. So in all of those spaces, what the current condition now is, we're reminding people that those are not designated parking spaces. And they're not designed to basically be ADA compliant or to safely get in and out with onto and off the highways without using the trail as a travel way. So having said that, we are reviewing that situation. We're not particularly thrilled that that's the current state of affairs. So we are looking into whether there's anything else we can do with those spaces, either within our available right of way or by maybe doing something else might require more right. But we don't have anything to report on that yet.
Okay, you'll let us know. Yeah, because it's kind of ruffles some feathers up there.
Understood.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, and I'll turn it over to you now.
Yeah, so I thank you, Chair Rozak. So for old business, I wanted to bring an issue to the committee's attention. We currently have a construction contract on the street for retaining wall repair and construction. It was put through via resolution in August of 2024. And we are in need of increasing that contract in the near term by about 35% or $120,000 out of the original estimated construction cost of $350,000. So the reason I'm bringing it up in this forum is really just a couple of reasons that it's going up. One is just some standard change order things that happen in construction on the street. One wall needs to be a little longer, a railroad permit costs a little bit more money. That's about 15% of the increase. But more importantly is that we had pulled one of the locations from that contract before it was put out for bidding because we had not cleared the right of way. Unexpectedly, the right of way cleared after the contractor got started, and we asked them if they would be agreeable to doing that additional work. They've agreed to honor their current unit prices for the contract and do that work now if we so choose. It's about a 20% or $70,000 increase for that added wall. We believe that's in the county's best interest. The price is good. They were the lowest bidder, and mobilizing another contract to do just that work would cost a lot more. So we think it's the right thing to do to add that to this contract. And so really, I just wanted to bring it to your attention, answer any questions you might have about what it all is. And then just with your agreement, we would bring it through in a future committee meeting to amend the contract.
Okay, first member Deacon Garcia.
Where is this wall exactly?
So the new one will be on Naperville Road, just south of Roosevelt, and maybe near the cross street of Elm. There's an old timber retaining wall that's going to be replaced with a stone retaining.
Okay.
I have
Member
a
Adams.
kind of a global question. Are we worried about any kind of tariffs increasing the price of steel or anything else that we bid out originally and now things might be coming back later?
So right now, the luxury of doing it this way is we would not have to worry about that. Certainly with rebar costs, if we're doing anything that's going to be federally funded, we've always been under a Buy America mandate. These are not federally funded, so we would, potentially suppliers might be providing something that's not, but yeah, that is a risk with a new contract.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Steve.
No, thanks.
And I think, any other old business? Any new business? Okay, hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. Chevron.